Well, sellers and buyers as a whole are more flexible than they were a year ago. And that's because they're frustrated with what's going on. They've given up. They said, okay, I got to get out of the property. I've got to do it. Let's go on. Unemployment is 9.7%, but that's not the real number. There are those people that are off benefits and it's higher. I don't know what it is. You think it's 20%? 18 to 20. It's high. All right. On the positive side, how many people are working as a percentage?
80%.
80 to 82%. That's a positive. So I'd always turn it that way. Yes, there's over 80% of the people that are still working. I mean, this is.
Yeah, and only 50% are on food stamps.
Food stamps, yeah.
Things to look it up.
CPI was 1.6% last quarter. I say it's under 2. But you know, that's better than what? No growth at all? That's why they said the recession was over back in the spring, is because we've had positive growth. But even though the positive growth is so tiny, it's still positive growth. Therefore, bless you, it's not going the wrong way. It's going the right way, even though it's a low number. Tomorrow, the Fed's put out the unemployment number. There's already forecasting that with the folks at Census Bureau that were let go, and then also some of these stimulus jobs that after they got to a particular period, the money ran out, and then who's going to continue to keep those people? Those are going to be let go. And so they're looking at a negative coming out this Friday. Don't know for sure, but they're looking for a negative coming out this Friday. Why is that a positive? If the unemployment continues to creep up, why is that a positive for us to talk about? Because it's creeping. Right? Steve, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just creeping, right?
Well, I thought it was because it's almost time for the election.
Oh, I've got a slide on that. That's coming. That's coming. And then greater growth is anticipated beginning the second quarter of 2011, and I'll show you why in a minute. And foreclosures and short sale prices are inching up, and we talked about that earlier. New housing starts are flat with a slight uptick. This will continue through 2011. This is because there's still 9 months of inventory. We talked about that. Remember those of you that are associated with builders? Sarah, you are? Okay, and I'm glad you're with the builder because there aren't many of them out there anymore. And so the great thing is if anybody does want a new house, they're going to be coming to you because there's not 1,000 builders out there. So that's a positive on your side, but it's also a positive on our side, which means that there's fewer builders building new construction. Where do they have to go? They have to go to the rest of us, which is resales, which is a positive. Oil per barrel in the lower 80s. Okay, what's going on there? I had to call my financial advisor this morning on the way up when I saw the numbers. I said, whoa, what is going on? Do you know what's going on, Stu? The folks in the Middle East, our buds over there, our buds, we're real close to these guys. You know, the ones that strangled their servants, you know.
I did too.
No, I did not say that.
You've heard of Beavis and Butthead.
I've heard of Beavis and, yeah. Something similar to that, yeah. But what is happening is the cash flow is down for those guys over there. Because what? The supply is plentiful, but the demand is low. All right? So we're seeing history repeat itself. What did they do back in the spring? We had there was a pullback. There was a little bit of a run-up. You know, there's still tankers off the coast that haven't offloaded yet. The refineries are not overworked on producing product. What is happening is an artificial run-up of the price of a barrel of oil because the folks in the Middle East need some extra capital. It's going to peak, and then it's going to start doing what? It's going to start working its way down because what are we going to do?
Stop buying.
That's right. We're going to quit buying. You know, who was I talking to earlier today about gasoline in their vehicle? Somebody. But they told me that they said, you know, I used to fill up for $35. Now I'm filling up for $45. So if the general consumer's out there and it's costing them an extra $30 a month to fill up, which is $360 a year, that pulls money out of the economy. That creates an issue. Remember, that's $360 per person or per family that's out in the marketplace is no longer buying goods and services. So that goes back to the thing about raising my taxes, raising my fees, and the artificial inflationary on the oil thing is going to work its way up. But don't let your people panic. This is not another one of those $147 a barrel deals. They're just looking for quick cash. When we begin to pull back and the cash begins to go back down again, then they're going to open the spigot up to let the cash flow back up again because they dropped the price of oil. That's the way they're working it.
Yeah, Sarah just reminded me too, this time of year that you ship Sarah knows all about this. She's on it.
Good. Sarah, is there anything you'd like to add that I've left out, or am I pretty close?
Yes.
Am I? Okay. Well, you know, I may have missed it. But I watch oil. Why do I watch oil so closely, and why do I put in what the value of a barrel of oil is in my newsletter? Why do I do that? Because it directly impacts the pocketbook of your consumer. And if they're spending $30 or more on gas, that's money they don't have in the marketplace. That means there'll be some more unemployment that'll be occurring because people aren't buying the goods and services and things that they would have been able to buy because they had the discretionary money to do that. We just need to know that. We need to know that it's okay, that that's going on. And we need to educate our consumer in such a way that they end up coming back in and say, you know, if I need to buy or sell, I'm going to come through you because you really know what's going on. You know, you've got a real handle on it. Okay, the stock market increased Wednesday and broke through 10,967. Is that good news or bad news? Why is it good? Why was September the first month in 12 years that the market went up instead of down? Past 12 years, September was a bad market. Why did it go up in September? It was up pretty good.
Put money into the market?
Did the Feds put money in the market? Well, a little bit of that's true. But the market always leads what? It's a leading economic indicator of what? Yeah. Okay? The market's beginning to sense what's coming. Turnover in Congress. They're beginning to sense what's coming, and you're beginning to see that's beginning to occur. If you look at third quarter corporate earnings, they're in the low double digit. It was just over. They haven't even let them out yet. They haven't come out of the bag yet because we're just in the first couple of days of October. But fourth quarter is even going to be higher than third quarter earnings. What does that mean? That means there's a tremendous amount of capital sitting on the sidelines. A huge amount of capital sitting on the sidelines. And it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there. So, what does that mean? Why is that good news? Going back to pent-up demand, why is that good news if corporations are warehousing their money?
They're waiting for a turnaround in terms of what the government's
Right.
going to do to them.
Yes, that's correct. They're waiting for a turnaround to determine what the government's going to do to them. And when that occurs, what then begins to happen since they've got it warehoused? They're going to start opening it up. They're going to do what? They're going to build out. If they need additional building out, they're going to do what? Add more people because they're adding more stock on board. Okay? And so we're going to see that if things change in November, then that will occur. All right, layoffs. Right now, the layoffs are balancing out with the new hires. It'll be down a little bit this month. Last month it was up. But layoffs are slowing, and the private sector is beginning to hire, and they're beginning to hire based on what's coming. Now, energy is very high for the upcoming election. Have you noticed that there's some energy out there and it's fairly positive of what's going on? Okay. And the energy in the election favors a trend in the direction of less government, both in size and spending. And many candidates are running that believe in capitalism and entrepreneurship less than governmental intrusion in the private sector. And that's another positive. And I do not want to be political in what I'm talking about. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of folks that are running right now, and if you watch their ads and watch what they're talking about, they really want to get government back down in size, and they want to get them out of our pocket if they can. Is that going to happen right away? I don't think so, but if it happens, if there's a change, and the change is because of you and what you're saying to people that are running, listen, if you're going to run, this is what I want you to run on, and that begins to occur, then that's going to cause this change that we're talking about. And now, we believe that consumer confidence will remain low until after the election. They don't know. Actually, we've got, 27 days left, or 26, or whatever the number is. They're not going to do anything for the next 26 days. They're going to sit there and wait and watch and see. And timing is right for us to help the consumer with the real estate needs. You see, we need to start selling the future today. You see, if we know all this stuff, we ought to be able to go back to them and say, you know, why not position yourself so that you capture the property now before something happens? And this euphoria, it may be a euphoria that begins to occur. Things will become positive because America is one of the few countries where the people can take back their country. If you look around the world, how many other countries in the world where the people can take back their country? And not through a revolution. Do it very peaceably. They do it what? At the ballot box, and they take back their country. And if the country is going to move in that direction, then we need to be at the point of the spear on that and say, you know, as a buyer, as a seller right now, You need to make that decision to get out there to capture what's coming. Don't wait and miss the wave. Get in front of the wave before it rolls over you on what's coming in the economy.